Welcome to the Epic Saga Society, a podcast that travels beyond the stars and realms to the worlds we know and love. I am T'Challa's nephew and Rhodey's cousin, Calvin Hamilton.
Yeah, and I'm the ex-TVA time loom repairman turned faithful timekeeper's devotee, Carlos Elatorre. We're thrilled to have you with us as we delve into the sci-fi and fantasy franchises from the books, movies, shows, video games, and anything else we feel like talking about.
Each episode, we explore the iconic stories and universes of beloved franchises like Star Wars, Dune, Marvel, and many more. Let's dive into today's saga. So, this is episode 2, and we're going to give our instant live reaction to the recent Deadpool and Wolverine film.
Hell yeah. There's going to be major spoilers for Deadpool and Wolverine. So I repeat, major spoilers. So sound that spoiler klaxon or air raid siren, whatever we got, because if you haven't seen it, turn this off now.
Yes, turn it off now. We're really going to be giving our thoughts, and we're not going to hold back. And let me just say, I can start us off. I saw it opening night, Thursday, 7 p.m., and bro, let me tell you, I was dying to talk about it with you, because you didn't see it until Sunday.
Yeah, it took some time to see it. I was dying to talk about it with you too. I was like eager to be like, hey, tell me what happened, but don't tell me what happened.
Right. I had to hold back, right? But
yeah.
Let me just say, there's something special about going to a movie like, Deadpool Wolverine, and, generally speaking, like, Marvel movies, Star Wars movies, going on opening night is really, really special because that's when the hardcore fans are really in the building. So throughout the entire movie, there was clapping, there was cheering, and I was excited. Not only was I genuinely, authentically excited about what I was seeing, but when you're with others that are cheering and clapping, you really get caught up in the excitement too. So I really, really loved being there opening night. The energy in there was amazing, and I can start us off by talking about some of the things that I loved. So first, the cameos. I mean, this movie did not hold back. They went all out with the cameos, and I think the coolest a cameo that completely caught me off guard was Johnny Storm. Chris Evans playing Johnny Storm.
Yeah.
And for those that don't know, for those that may not have seen it, Chris Evans played Johnny Storm, the Flame, the Torch, the Human Torch.
Yeah, Torch, that's right.
Yeah, in the original Fantastic Four movies with Jessica Alba and I think Jeff Richards. I can't remember who played the Thing. And, Johnny Storm was...
Michael Chiklis. That was Michael Chiklis. Yeah.
Thank you, Michael Chiklis, yep. And, in that movie, he's really like a playboy, right? And I think what was so special and exciting about the cameo that we saw was prior to, Deadpool and Wolverine running into, Johnny Storm, he is Johnny Storm, right? Am I saying that right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, Johnny Storm, right. Yeah. They were hyping it up to where we thought it was going to be Captain America, right? And it was like, okay, this is going to be Captain America. This is a Captain America variant. And he's about to say Avengers Assemble, right? And he pulls off his little, cloak, whatever it was, and he says, Flame on. I lost my mind. I was like, no way did they just do that, because I thought it was just going to be another Captain America. And not only was it really cool to see him do like the Flame One and be the Human Torch again, but for years we have gotten used to Chris Evans playing Captain America, who's this very honorable, honor-bound man who was like set on like saving the world, set on saving the universe. Let me take you all back to before the MCU, right? Before he played Captain America, when he was Johnny Storm, he was really a playboy. Right? Like, Johnny Storm was like this playboy, like this like that had a lot of chicks, all the things. And so seeing him like switch into this, badass character again, it's like, whoa, wait, right? Like he's really code switching really well. Like such a great actor. So just like the setup, the lead up was like really really cool. Another cameo that I really loved was Blade, like Wesley Snipes. Seeing him as Blade, I remember when they were in the little hideout and Blade walked in. I was like, they really brought Blade in, like the Wesley
Yeah.
Snipes Blade.
Wesley
Like,
Snipes, yeah,
wow,
seriously.
like I was not expecting that because a lot of people don't talk about those films too much.
Mm-mm.
The first Blade film came out in '98, which was actually 2 years before X-Men came out, and I know a lot of people don't really may not associate Blade with like X-Men and like not really put him in the Marvel universe, but Blade is definitely a Marvel character. So to see Wesley Snipes come in and just his charisma that he has, right? And
Yeah.
he was just
The Daywalker.
yeah.
It's just real cool. Wait, was he the first Marvel character that was filmed on like for the public?
I
It
want
was
to
like
say
the
that he
first live
was.
action?
I want to say that
Yeah.
he was. I don't know
Yeah,
that
I think it
anybody.
was.
Yeah, like prior to '98, there was no other, like Marvel like character that was put on the big screen. We could be
Yeah.
wrong, but I don't think so.
Yeah, you can fact check us if that's not the case. But yeah, no, definitely. 98, man. That makes
Wow.
me feel old.
I know, right? Sheesh. Some people weren't even born in '98, which is crazy.
Yeah, I know.
I've already
Don't
graduated
remind me.
college and all that.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And so that was really cool. I also think that seeing Elektra like come on, that was again a character I was not expecting. And again, for myself, I don't necessarily associate Elektra with the Marvel universe, and so I really forgot that she's in the Marvel universe and that she was a part of like the Fox era of Marvel.
Yeah.
The Fox
Yeah,
section of Marvel.
I completely forgot that one too.
Yeah.
I was not expecting that.
Right. So when she came on, that was really cool. And of course, we're gonna keep talking about it, but those two cameos for me, those three cameos for me, were really, really special. And seeing Wolverine fight, not only again, but like in the like OG comic book suit. Oh my goodness, we've been waiting 24 years to see Wolverine in like the yellow suit with like the mask, and if you notice, the
Oh,
mask
yeah.
even had like the opaque eyes over it too.
Oh
I'm
my
like,
God.
oh, like
That
come
was
on.
incredible. When he
Yeah.
pulled down that mask, that I verbally yelled when I
Yeah.
saw that.
It was so good.
That was
So
incredible.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just the fact that in 24 years of Hugh Jackman playing Wolverine, we've never seen him in that suit. Like,
Yeah, that's
like,
true.
never. So it was just
Well,
so.
we did catch a glimpse of that mask, I think, in the Wolverine movie. I don't know if you remember that one where he goes to Japan, right? Yeah, there was a scene, and I think it was a deleted scene where what was her name? What was his partner in crime's name? Japanese girl.
I can
Short
see her
hair.
face. I can't.
Yeah,
remember
you know
her
what I'm
name.
talking about.
Yeah,
you know
yeah,
what I'm
yeah.
talking about. Yeah, yeah. I don't even know the character's name. I completely forgot her. Sorry, but I believe she has a case that she opens, and it's that mask. Am I crazy? Did I dream this?
You
Did I
said
see like?
it's a deleted scene? You said.
I think it's a deleted scene, and I
Okay.
think I saw it on YouTube. There's a lot of fake stuff on YouTube right now, but I mean, but I'm pretty sure I saw it there. So I don't know. I mean, you could correct me if I'm wrong, Calvin.
Yeah,
But-
well, we can fact check that. We'll look it up and see.
Yeah. Yeah, because
Um,
I don't know what I'm talking about. But yeah,
Yes, you do. But yeah, so that was really cool to finally see him put it on, even if they did tease it in that deleted scene like years and years ago. So yeah, those are just like off the top of my head, just some like quick, like my quick reaction before we dive in a little deeper. But I'd love to hear from you, bro. Like, what's your take? How are you feeling about it?
yeah. So since I'm an old man, I had to wait to see it. I had to wait till Sunday to see it. I just couldn't stay up that late to watch it, even though I would have loved to, because I love that feeling of having that energy in the theater. I used to do that with a lot of other movies. So unfortunately, this time I saw it today, actually, and yeah, I mean, everybody was really excited to see it. I was excited to see it, and yeah, I had a really fun time with it. It was really good. Crazy scenes. I knew it was going to be wild. I knew it was going to be just off the wall, but I didn't realize how much. And I loved those cameos that you listed. I mean, Blade was like my favorite one because I definitely audibly yelled when I saw Blade. I even turned to my girlfriend and I was like, "Look, that's Wesley Snipes," and she's like, "Yeah, I know who Wesley Snipes is." But yeah, like that was insane. Him walking in, I was not expecting. Elektra walking in, I definitely wasn't expecting because, sorry, Jennifer Garner, but I forgot about you. I forgot about your movie. Like, I completely forgot about it. And when they said there's four of us, I mean, what's his name? Channing Tatum walks in as Gambit. I loved that, absolutely. But when they said there was four of us, I was like, oh my God, is Ben Affleck about to walk in here and be the Daredevil? But no. And we actually got a funny joke that you put me onto. I didn't even like catch it. But what was that joke that they said about?
Then, Ryan Reynolds, Deadpool, turns to Jennifer Garner and says, "Oh yeah, Daredevil's dead. I'm sorry." And then Jennifer Garner says, "It's okay." like whatever.
Yeah, that whole thing was great. I love that. We didn't get Ben Affleck and Daredevil, which would have been awesome, but we did get X-23, so that was fantastic. I'm so glad. I knew she was going to be in it because I did see her in the trailer. I just did not know what kind of role she was going to play. So I was happy to see that she was like an important part of the movie. She was there with the group that was surviving in the void. So that was awesome seeing those cameos. Another thing, I loved the fact that they put in almost every single X-Men character from all the X-Men movies, like all the Fox Marvel IP, they put them all in there, right? You had who? Pyro, right? You had Juggernaut. You had, who am I missing? I said one earlier. We didn't actually get her name. Deathstrike, Deathclaw.
Yeah, I decided Deathstrike. I was able to look it up, but yep, they had her too.
It's basically like the female version of Wolverine, but her claws come out of her fingers. Yeah, we got Psylocke. There were just so many. Oh, we even had Toad. Toad from the first X-Men.
We did.
Yeah, I don't think it was Ray Park, right? I mean, that would have been awesome. But
who also played Darth Maul? For those that don't know,
Darth Maul,
and the Phantom and Star Wars.
Where are Star Wars fans out? Yeah, Darth Maul. You know the name, Ray Park. But yeah, that would have been awesome if he was there. But so we got to see all these characters. We even saw Sabretooth, and I'm pretty sure it was the same actor who played as Sabretooth in the first X-Men. So those were cameos that I loved. Like, I loved the fact that they put in all these X-Men movies. And I didn't just love it for that reason. I loved it because I literally just saw all the X-Men movies before we went into seeing this movie. So that was incredible. Wait, hold on one second. Pause this.
Yeah.
All right. We're going to cut that one out. Okay. But yeah, I loved all of those cameos. And what other things were we mentioning?
Who were your favorite characters that you saw? Oh, you already said Blade and X-23, right?
Yeah, Blade, X-23. The fact that we saw Pyro.
Yep.
I don't even know that actor's name.
And Pyro owned Johnny Storm.
Oh,
owned
yeah.
Him. Oh, my goodness. I was like,
yeah, that was crazy.
No chance. Yeah.
Yeah, who is this guy? His name is Aaron Stanford. Okay, I've literally never seen Aaron Stanford outside of X-Men 2 and X-Men 3. No offense to Aaron Stanford. So I was just, it was awesome to see this guy playing in this same role again. I thought it was great. So yeah, those were the cameos that really got me.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, no, it was great. And also, a quick fun fact for those listening, Daphne Keene, the one who plays X-23.
Yes,
She
Daphne
also
Keane.
plays Jackie in The Acolyte. For anyone who's seen The
Yes,
Acolyte, she plays Jackie in The Acolyte.
awesome character.
Yes.
Rest in peace.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, might have to
Well,
cut that one out for
yeah.
spoilers. My bad. Yeah, cut that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
cut that.
So,
It's
she
all good.
dies. No, okay.
Yeah.
No, we'll
She's
cut. We'll
dead.
cut all
She
this.
was in a good fight. Yeah.
Yeah,
Damn, bro. No, I'm just
yeah, I
joking.
know, right?
So watching this like, ah.
Yeah, everybody
Okay.
just downvotes this.
Right. But anyway, so bro, let me ask you, what was, because I already shared that my favorite scene was when Johnny Storm came out and said "Flame on." What was your
Oh
favorite
yeah.
scene?
Damn. Favorite scene. Favorite scene. That's tough. Because that was really good. I feel like you took the best one. I really enjoyed when they got into the Ant-Man fortress. So the giant Ant-Man fortress that they go to.
Oh, yeah, yep.
Yeah, I really liked that part because that's where you see all of the X-Men names, like all of the X-Men IP characters. And I loved that whole scene because not only were we getting all the characters and you're kind of getting this nostalgia of like, oh, I remember that person. Look at that person. Oh my God. Aaron Stanford's there as Pyro. And then we're introduced to the character Cassandra Nova, Emily Corinne. Is that her name?
Yeah,
Yeah, I should really write
I think
these
so.
names down. So we're introduced to this character, but that whole scene, we also get Deadpool and Wolverine's reactions to seeing all these characters,
Yeah,
and I just love that. I loved that whole dynamic where they were all talking to each other about each other, and I really liked that whole scene. I thought it was great.
yeah,
Yeah, the whole action sequence, especially when you really get a feel for how powerful Cassandra Nova is based on what she does in that moment to Wolverine, well, and to Johnny Storm. Oh my God.
Oh my
That
goodness.
that was straight out of
Oh,
my nightmares, man.
I seriously like just ripped all his skin off like immediately.
Yeah.
Like
That
I was
was
like, oh,
a new fear unlocked, even though I know it's never going to happen. Like, still, it's not something that I ever. You know what it reminded me of? I don't know if you ever seen Silent Hill, but oh God, okay, don't see it because there's a scene
Okay.
just like that. Anyway, if anybody knows what I'm talking about, don't remind me. But yeah, that whole scene I thought was great because when she gets rid of Wolverine, sends him underground, he flies away, and then she's talking to Deadpool. He's just being typical Deadpool, frustrating, annoying self. And then he threatens her, and then out come Wolverine's claws from behind her. And I just love that whole idea of an overpowered character kind of getting what's coming to them.
yep,
And that scene, I was like, ah, fuck yeah, because
yeah,
then Deadpool even did his little here's my knife as he throws it at her. So I really like that scene because of that, because of all the dynamics.
yeah. Oh yeah, that was such a great scene, and yeah, just seeing how they were all like working together and how they, you know, before them going to the Ant Man, like whatever the factory, whatever, or like the Ant
Yeah,
Man
the
suit, the
fortress.
suit, the fortress.
Yeah.
They were all like, like this is gonna be our ending. Like we're in the void right now. We don't have an ending, so we're gonna make an ending for ourselves. And it was really really cool to see how they work together. Like you said, X-23 kicked up or threw up. What is that? Juggernaut's helmet, and then put it on her.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
the teamwork, the effort. Yeah, I absolutely loved it too.
Yeah.
So it
I
was
will
great.
say I will say actually a runner-up favorite scene was when, what is it, the six of them, they get out of the car and they're all facing off against all of those characters.
Yeah,
That scene was amazing because then you get to see, you finally get to see Gambit. When's the last time we saw Gambit? I think we saw him in X-Men Origins Wolverine, right?
I
And
think
he was
that's
played
it.
by, yeah, and he was played by a different actor. So just getting to see what they would have done with Channing Tatum's portrayal of
Yeah.
Gambit with his powers. And then just seeing all of them work, Elektra and Blade, like all of that was
Yeah.
awesome. That whole
I
scene was like runner up for me.
I agree. That was really good. Thing. I also liked, if I can add, I liked the scene where it was just like funny, like kind of like funny but cool when they were about to face off against all the Deadpools, and Wolverine, he's holding like the little dog, right? And then he like stands up and like they don't fight, they don't attack him because he's holding the dog.
Oh yeah,
He
that's
just like look at
that's
the
right.
green bug and then like walks with the dog, and they're like,
Yeah,
oh, oh. Like you're not
yeah,
gonna hurt the
right.
dog. I was like,
They
okay,
have no
that makes sense.
problem clapping that other guy, but they're like the dog, like no. Everybody
I
stops.
Right. And why did Deadpool do his variant dirty? The variant that had like the long
I,
hair with no mask.
I,
He did
I
it
didn't
so
get that.
dirty.
Yeah, I
He
was
was
like,
like,
what is happening?
he's like, am I gonna live like you're gonna live? He's like, it's so messed up.
Yeah, I was like, damn, this is some serious self hate right here on Ryan Reynolds.
Right.
Like I think he just wanted to get rid of him to take that dog. I don't know.
That's all he wanted to do. It messed up. All because of the dog. It was horrible. So,
Yeah, that was ridiculous. So yeah, I have a question for you then.
yeah.
What is it about this movie? What did you like about it? Like, how did you feel about the movie itself?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if I had to, give it a rating, like overall, I really, really liked it. I give it like an 8 out of 10, right? But what I liked, I think, is how self-aware and meta it was. I think it was like really, because you don't see that in movies a lot, right? You don't see a movie talking about itself. Deadpool's known for that. That's what it's famous for. And Deadpool's 1 and 2, it really talking about itself, but now with Marvel having acquired the rights to all of the Fox, the characters that Fox owned, for it to be able to like talk about how like 20th Century Fox is like behind it, and it's really been acquired by the MCU. I think that was like my favorite like part of it. In addition to, of course, all the cameos, but just the fact that if anyone missed it, when they were in the void, you saw the 20th Century Fox logo, like in the
Oh, that was
ground,
great.
right?
Yeah.
So, like, I thought that was cool. And then, if you really think about it, all of for the exception of like the Wolverine from the other universe, and then we did see X-23 at the very end. I'm guessing she's from like their universe that they're from, but all the characters died. That we saw, all the Fox characters got killed for the most part.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Like the Human Torch.
Well, as
like
far as we know, right?
right, as far as we know, in the Void at least. Like
Yeah.
they could exist in other universes, but just the fact that I think most of them got swallowed up by Eliath, right? Which we know is just which kills them, right? Wipes them from existence, whatever you will. And that was like a way of saying, hey, like all these Fox characters, like they were good, but like this is our way of like putting that behind us. This was their fate. They got killed. Some of them may exist in other universes, but now we're moving on to the Universe Prime, which I think is Earth 616, right? Even though the Deadpool and Wolverine that we see are actually from, correct me if I'm wrong, Earth 1005, right?
Yeah. Oh, Earth 10005.
10005. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. So I just really liked how self-aware it was and how it like commented on itself and gave like an in-universe explanation for, where Deadpool was and how it really fits into like the bigger MCU. So, but yeah, I want to throw that question right back at you. Like, what did you like about it?
Yeah, I like what you said a lot. I actually feel very similarly. Like I have a same sentiment. I think I would probably give it the same rating, like 7.5, 8 out of 10. Like I definitely 8 out of 10 in terms of how fun it was and everything. How it was a nice homage to everything Fox Marvel. If I can call it Fox Marvel, all the IP that Fox had. I grew up with all of those movies. I remember seeing like X2 in grade school, and
Wow.
yeah, and watching X-Men 3 and laughing at all, like in high school, laughing at I'm the Juggernaut, bitch, all of those lines. Like I just remember all that. And so all of those movies were great at that time. X-Men was a messy, kind of like chaotic timeline.
Yeah.
And I think they tried to wrap it up as best they could, and Logan did an amazing job of that. But what this movie did, I really liked that Ryan Reynolds and this whole Marvel team, they gave it a nice send-off. And I think that's what I really liked about this movie. It was very self-aware. I mean, they broke the fourth wall, but not just that. Like, there was a lot of poking fun at just how the weight of Marvel and all its content is kind of like it's so much stuff that the supports are like breaking, right? It's like breaking under the weight of itself. So I like the fact that you have to kind of streamline it somehow, and one way to do that was to get rid of unresolved things, like a lot of excess baggage, and that was, I feel like, the Fox IP. And I mean, there's other things too, right? There's other things that I'm sure they're working on, but that's what I loved about this movie is they gave it a nice send-off. They kind of tied up all the loose ends in a way that was really fun, and I mean, maybe not super substantive, but in a way that we were expecting. And yeah, the broken down 20th Century Fox logo was just kind of like encapsulated the whole idea of what was going on with this. So I love that whole thing.
100%. And I will add, I thought it was really cool how the when it was, how it talked about itself a lot. It mentions the fact that I think, Deadpool mentions the fact that, Marvel's been in kind of like a downward turn over the last few years because, as we know, many of the recent shows and movies haven't been performing well, both, like critically by critics and like in the box office. If you think about movies like, the Marvels and shows like Echo and just other recent shows haven't been doing well, and commenting on that, it's like, Marvel's been kind of like a downward turn, just like it being able to talk about itself was really like, it's really funny how like they can just be honest, how they were like able to be honest through humor and through comedy. I thought it was really good. So I want to ask you now, what do you think, thinking about the movie Deadpool Wolverine, what do you think were some missed opportunities, and what would you have liked to see that you didn't get to see in this movie?
So there was two things that bothered me. Something that left me kind of like, what is happening? Is the first thing. So how the hell was he talking to Happy Hogan, right? How the hell was he talking to him in Earth 616? Like, what? Did I miss something? Like, I didn't go to the bathroom at all during this movie, so I don't understand. Like, what did I miss? Like, how the hell did he get there? I know it was a funny gag. Like, I loved that whole scene, but I was just like, wait a minute. If he's in Earth 10005, that's where all the X-Men and Deadpool movies take place, then how did he get to Earth 616?
Yep.
Was it because of Cable's little time doohickey that he had on, or was it something else? Was Earth 1000005? I always forget that. Was it a branch timeline? Mm-hmm. These are the things I was wondering. Okay, that's the first thing, and I don't know if you can speak to some of this. The second thing I'm going to throw out there is how the hell did they get out of the void? Yeah, like, I don't understand, right? Yeah. Like, okay, Doctor Strange's ring. What's the ring called? So you could just use that? You could just use that to exit the void? Like, that means all these Lokis running around at the end of season 1, they could have just found one of those things and like taken turns going through it. Right. Like that was one major plot hole that I was just kind of like, oh man, you're going to have to fill that one out, because that means that the TVA has some competition with the Sorcerer Supreme. And the only reason the Sorcerer Supreme hasn't been there is because maybe they don't know about it. But that means that the TVA technology doesn't supersede that magical ability. So I don't know. Those are some questions that I had. And I mean, this could go really deep and dense, but we could keep it surface level if you want. But yeah, I don't know. What do you think about all that?
Yeah, no, I agree. And just to your point, the rings, I just looked it up, they're called sling rings. And
sling
I
rings.
Thank you.
Yeah, they mention it. They do mention that. Like,
okay.
in Doctor Strange and in the second one. But anyway,
For
continue.
sure. But I agree with all that. And I think before we recorded, I was asking you, like, can you explain to me, like, how he was in Earth 616? And so we're both confused about that,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, it did
And
make
then, yeah, it didn't make sense. And then we even saw the future when they were looking when Deadpool first got to the TVA. We saw that image or that video of Thor crying over Deadpool's body, right? And I was
Oh
like,
yeah, that's
which
right.
which universe
Yeah.
is that happening in? It looks like this is the Avengers. So is that like does that happen in Avengers, like an upcoming Avengers? But what universe is it happening in? That
Yeah.
really didn't make sense to me at all,
Well,
right?
was that Thor? That wasn't Chris Hemsworth, right? Yeah,
Oh,
I thought it was the same, right? That's his brother because he's got like two brothers, right? I just know that one of his brothers, and not the brother that was on Hunger Games, the other brother,
oh,
the other brother was he was playing Thor in the play that
uh huh.
Loki was putting on during Thor Ragnarok. Do you remember that?
I remember. I do remember that. Yep. And
Yeah, when he
also
was
Matt
when he
Damon was there too, right? Matt Damon
yes,
played
yes,
Loki.
that's
Yeah.
right. Yeah,
Yeah.
and then they were in the next Thor movie, Love and Thunder.
Yes.
Yeah, so in Love and Thunder they were there again. So I was thinking, is he playing as the character like they're in a play, and Deadpool is acting as some character? That's what I thought
Okay.
when I saw it. I thought it was just like a big inside joke. But hey, it could be a preview into what's gonna happen.
It could, because even the TVA members were like watching
Yeah,
it,
they were like,
crying.
"Don't."
They're like tearing up.
Yeah.
They're like, please don't show us again. So
Yeah.
it seems to be, just because of how they reacted to it, it seems to one be a well known event that may have actually happened. Maybe it's just a variant though, and that variant is
Yeah.
played by
Or it's an incursion
his
event,
brother.
man. Yeah. Or she could have just been crying because everybody was crying during Thor Ragnarok when they were doing the reenactment
Right.
of Thor's Loki's death.
That's true. Maybe it just moved them. You know, like we cry when we see movies sometimes, and like good
Yeah.
plays. So it could have been the same thing, right?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
Some missed opportunities for me were, I think they could have gone maybe a little harder with the cameos. You know, like you mentioned this earlier.
Yeah.
We saw Elektra. Why not bring back Daredevil, Ben Affleck's Daredevil?
Yeah, Ben Affleck. Too
Where
expensive.
I know, right? Right? He costs too much. You know,
Yeah.
him and Jennifer Garner still have beef, right?
Oh yeah, imagine. They're like, I
Right.
don't want to be on the same set as him.
I know, right? But I did hear a report that he actually visited the set with their children so that they could see.
Oh, really?
So the children
Oh,
could
that's
see Jennifer Gardner don the electric suit again.
He
which
was done
super
with
dope.
superhero suits,
Yeah.
man.
He was like, I've done Daredevil, I've done Batman.
Batman. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm done.
I'm done. But so I thought, yeah, because who do I want to see? I can never get enough of Professor X. Either
Yeah, that would've
version,
been
like
great.
James McAvoy or
Yeah, absolutely.
Sir Ian McKellen, right? No, not Ian McKellen.
No, Patrick Stewart.
Patrick Stewart, thank you. Give us some
But,
Professor X in the
Bro,
void, you know?
Ian McKellen, man. Magneto.
Yeah. And I was just gonna say that, like, show us some Magneto, either Ian McKellen or Benedict Cumberbatch. I don't care what variant.
Michael
Yeah.
Fassbender. You mean Michael Fassbender?
Thank you, yeah, because Benedict plays.
But Doctor Strange. Yeah,
right.
I would have loved to have seen him too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So yeah, but like, give me, where was Magneto? Where was Professor X? Where was Storm? Like, give me some Halle Berry. I'm sure Halle Berry would have reprised her role, right?
Yeah.
Whereas like Rogue, like there was no Rogue.
Oh,
in
Anna
the void,
Paquin?
right?
Yeah.
Exactly. Who did Jennifer Lawrence and Rebecca Romijn play? The
Mystique.
Mystique, yeah. Where's Mystique? Are we saying that there just happen to be zero variants of these characters in the void? Like, we could have gotten like a few more cameos. I feel like so.
Yeah.
Because
Rebecca
there are just so
Romaine
many.
Stamos.
Yes.
Jeez.
Yeah. There's so many like other like beloved characters from like the
Yeah.
Fox era of X-Men that I think would have just been like amazing to see. And this is another missed opportunity. Nobody in the Void was anywhere near being on Cassandra Nova's level, right? I think that I don't mind when characters are overpowered or OP. My only issue is when there's no rival.
Foil. Yeah.
Yeah, no foil to that. That's like on their level or on a similar level, or working to get to that level. She was just so OP. She was going in people's minds and going into
Yeah.
memories and like
Sticking her
messing with their
fingers in their
memories,
heads.
sticking their fingers in
Yeah.
their heads. I'm like, no one has like a. They worked together, of course, to take her down, but she was just so OP. And then that fight, that final fight that we got, uh, which happened like midway through the film, I think should have actually been at the very end of the film because it was like we got this like big fight between Cassandra Nova, her people, and then Elektra, Wolverine, Deadpool, all them. And then the final fight towards the end of the film was all the Deadpools versus Deadpool Wolverine. I was
Yeah.
like, it felt semi anticlimactic, and I know I can kind of see what they are going for, but yeah, that was kind of a missed opportunity for me. So overall, it was still great, but I would have loved to see like a better big fight and then a better foil to Cassandra Nova's powers.
I guess that wraps up another epic episode of the Epic Saga Society.
Yes, and please, housekeeping note, please don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review our podcast. Your support helps us bring more epic sagas to life. And if you enjoyed this, please share the link to our podcast with all your friends, anyone that you also like talking about, and leave some comments. Let us know what you think. Did you like Deadpool and Wolverine? How do you feel like it fits into the MCU? What's your rating of Deadpool and Wolverine? Let us know in the comments down below. Stay epic.